Good day, good morning, or good evening, regardless of wherever you are. Welcome back. Today, we have our legendary Cleric Dragon to get hatching. Of course, Cleric is currently the Dragon of the Month, and everyone's going to be eager to get to breeding it just before the Divine event starts. And the best combo to breed this dragon is, of course, Plant plus Tribal, which is the combination that we use to get this dragon on our first attempt. But he's a very pretty dragon, and this Cleric Dragon also marks the beginning of the Adventurers collection in the Dragon Codex. So he is a legendary metal and light dragon, so an interesting set of elements. Would it work on your team? Depends on the rest of your team. So connected to the Divine Dragons, the Cleric Dragon channels their power in battle against any enemy to Dragonkind. Apparently, this trainer fit the criteria when he withheld after dinner treats. Yikes, yeah, don't want to annoy this Cleric Dragon. But it says that this guy's connected to the Divine Dragons, which is, you know, kind of fitting, because a lot of people even said, you know, Cleric does kind of look like a Divine Dragon. His actual design, they thought he looked a lot more like a Divine rather than a Legendary, and I kind of see where they're coming from. He's got, you know, bright and sort of mysterious looking, so I can understand that. So like I said, he's part of the 6th anniversary collection, Adventurers of Autumn, and there are 3 of these dragons, and then the main reward, I imagine, is going to be that slime dragon that we saw the other day on Facebook, and next month's Dragon of the Month is going to be this beautiful looking Warlock dragon. It's mainly just, he's got these weird effects on his head that kind of spook me a little bit, but of course, you know, if we're considering D&D, we've got clerics, we've got warlocks, we'll probably have another sort of class in here. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm interested to see what dragon they're going to design, but they look pretty cool so far. Warlock, very cool design. Cleric, obviously very cool design as well. And I really loved the slime dragon when we were showing it in the preview. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that other remaining dragon is. But we've got little Mike here. I guess he's a boy. I guess the name has decided that for us now. And he looks cute as a baby. It's just sometimes these dragons that don't have like any pupils can kind of freak me out. But I think this one's a good one. I think Cleric's a cool looking dragon. I did see so many people like, whoa dude, Cleric's so cool, I need to get it, I need to get it. I'm like, wow. I haven't seen this many people like splurge over a dragon in a while now. But, you know, I can get behind it. I love dragons that wear clothes and dragons that wear armor. And obviously he's got his helmet, he's got his armor on the side here. Love it. But, again, he's not the worst dragon to use on your team. It's just light and metal. I don't know, I feel like metal's better on some more defensive dragons and light might be better on some more aggressive dragons with higher base attack. But it really does depend on what you want to do and, you know, what your overall team is, because a team is not made of just one dragon. A team is made of many dragons. In this case, 3 of them. Anyway, I kind of want to go and see him in battle, because I forget to do this quite a lot. I think battle with level 20s is around about here. So let's go and find our pretty little Cleric Dragon in our collection. We've got you. Do we have a level 20 Divine? I think we do somewhere, right? Yeah, we got Olaf. And let's throw in another Legendary. Cause do we have an Ancient? No, Adele's level 30. Too powerful. Too powerful for what we want. Let's throw the Princess in here as well. I don't think I've ever seen her battle. But look at our Divine Dragon there. Oh, I forget that the effect of like that black hole on his head actually looks pretty cool, if that's even a black hole. But main thing with legendaries, of course, is the fact that before they're actually upgraded to their, like before they have their other 2 elements unlocked and before you've got the level 6 upgrades, obviously legendaries kind of suck. Which I know that a lot of new players, they see that legendaries only have 1 element and they're like, wait, but I thought these things were supposed to be super good. It's like, yeah, you need to unlock their true potential, if you want to think about it that way. But, you know, legendaries, divines, ancients are always going to be super, super strong when they're fully upgraded compared to, you know, commons, uncommons, rares sort of thing. So you should always try and unlock their elements, get them fully maxed in terms of enchantment, and then you'll see that there is a massive difference between you know, a common and a legendary, which I know some people still do genuinely really struggle with, but, oh well. Oh well, is all I have to say to that. I have throw in a Chrono Erlangi there as well. It's just, you know, I get that initially the investment seems like a lot of hassle, but like most things in life, the better things in life come if you spend more initially to gain more in the long term. You know, they do that with all sorts of deals, or when you're taking out loans. It's better to pay off more each month than it is to just, you know, pay less but have it take longer, because then you end up paying out more. I know that it's a very big tangent considering we're just talking about dragons and their elements, but it's sort of the same concept. You know, legendaries and ancients and that take more investment in terms of resources, but overall, they'll be a lot better for your team than, you know, the easier to enchant commons out there. Especially with sigils now, because, you know, with sigils we can't actually put anything above uncommon or common onto uncommon and common dragons respectively. So this is my daily reminder that common dragons are not very good. Not that I think anyone really needed that. Anyway, let's claim our 5 enchantment tickets. So you see that I'm at about 8,200-ish points in the Dragonmaster Pass for this season. I've not been focusing on it at all, but remember that the next Dragonmaster Pass that we get, which is going to have Apollo in it, we can actually get points from common dragons to finish off the pass. So this is me when I wasn't bothering with the pass really at all, getting to 8,200, whereas when we can hatch fire dragon eggs, it's going to be super easy getting up to 8k. So if I can do it without even caring, we can definitely hit Apollo free to play. Easy peasy. I mean, honestly, with hatching fire dragons, they're worth 5 points each. That's not another cleric, but when you're hatching fire dragons, they will count for 5 points, and you can actually finish off the Dragonmaster Pass in day 1 if you just sit there hatching fire dragons and, you know, breeding for the Dragon of the Month. If you get the Dragon of the Month, you'll get that as well. So, you know, for anyone that's been skeptical, like, but I thought Apollo was going to be free. He is going to be free. You know, maybe not just thrown out there and everyone just receives it in a gift sort of free, but that was never the intent of hashtag free Apollo. The whole point of the hashtag was to remove him from his jail cell. And we did that. So, he will be acquirable free to play. Don't get your panties in a twist. He's not going to be a paid dragon. So, for people that were... I know that a lot of people do ask this, and they say, you know, what's going to be the easiest divine to get out of the new divine events? It's going to be Apollo. Because you don't even have to play any of the Time Rift event, and you can still get Apollo. So, that makes him by far the easiest one to get. You could ignore every other part of the divine event, not play a single one of those events, and you could just breed dragons through the month, and you're going to get Apollo. So, technically Apollo is the easiest by far. And plus you don't have to buy any shrines for him, you don't have to buy the premium pass to get him. So he's free to play, he's the easiest to get. So at the very least, I expect most people are going to get themselves an Apollo dragon. The other easiest divines to get out of the upcoming event are going to be the old divines, so those like Loki and Nezha, because they are available in the first and I believe the second parts of the castle event. And then obviously Chrono Chang is available from getting pieces out of both castle events. So they're going to be easy to get because they're probably on the final tier of the events, as in Loki and Nezha are going to be on the final tiers of the event, but then you're going to have to open every single chest if you want to get Chang. Or if you don't manage to do it in that, you could also go for the dungeon chests, which are going to be coming out and giving you more pieces for dragons. So, I'm not sure what the drop rates are going to be on those dungeon chests, but I'm hoping that they're going to be relatively reasonable with them. Either way, you know, from what we've seen of the balancing going into the next Divine event, I'd say it's not perfect, as in, I still don't like Divine chests, and how low their drop rates are on average, which we don't know exactly what they are yet. But if they're even slightly similar to what we're used to, then they're still RNG loot boxes at the end of the day, and they're not going to be kind to the players. You'll get some level 25 players that will get a full piece of, you know, Chrono Poseidon, and then you'll have some 5-year-long players that probably won't get it. And that's why it feels so bad sometimes. But that's just what happens when you throw in loot boxes, loot crates into your games. But if that dungeon chest can be a little bit more reasonable and make up for that, which is still going to be RNG, but if the RNG is at a high enough rate that it's not just completely against the player, it can actually help quite a lot. But, you know, it is going to be in a couple of days. Get yourselves prepped. We all have the updates now. There's no reason that anyone on any platform can't take part. But do remember that with these month-long events, especially with the 2-part castle event, you will have to be available for both of those weeks of the castle event to get the pieces for Chrono Chang. If you're only here for one of those weeks, you're screwed. That's why they're called month-long events, because they do genuinely take an entire month of you know, logging in, usually on a 6-hour timer basis, you know, doing collections for your items, spending them on the maps. It is a full month of, I wouldn't say work, but logging in. Because that's the thing with DML, it's not difficult to do the events, it's just very, very repetitive. Which, you know, I wouldn't say that's a difficult. Difficult to me would be like super complicated and hard to understand. It's not, it's like the simplest thing in the world to understand. It's just you have to log in a lot, which isn't hard work, it's... If you have no life, it's great. If you actually go outside and do things and you act like a normal human being, that's when it becomes a little bit of a struggle. But no, you shouldn't have to wake up through the night to finish off these events. There's usually a way to do it without having to completely destroy your sleep. And in general, I probably wouldn't recommend it anyway. Like the last event, I was waking up like half an hour earlier just to get some of my reset stuff in, but that was it. I wouldn't ever recommend waking up in the middle of the night just to do resets on boss challenge and things like that. If you have to get to that point, it's probably not worth it. That is my advice to you. You can take it, you can leave it, you can tell me to shove it. That's up to you. But that is the general gist behind it. So, I guess we might as well open these epic chests, right? Might as well. We've got 10 enchantment materials. What do we get? Anything of value? We got this okay amount, I suppose. Could have been better. It's just right now we're trying to enchant our Apollo Dragon, of course, and he needs lots and lots of fire, which I completely forgot he'd need. But let's go and enchant him. There we go. He is now enchantment level 5. So we'll need more fire, we'll need more plant. I thought that it would be the divine that we'd struggle with, but it's actually the other two that we're struggling with here. Damn it. Anyway, there's my mini rambling for now. It's just having both of our Apollo Dragons in here, I just want to get one of them leveled up quick, but at the same time, I also want to get all of the gems out of the new collections that have come out, because obviously the more gems we have going into the divine event, the better off we'll be. So all of my priorities are a little bit scuffed at the moment, shall we say. A little bit scuffed. Look at all these dragons that we're gonna have to level up. There's so many of them. There's just too many. I guess we'll do sumo here. That'll give us a few extra, won't it? 2, 3, 4, 25. Wonderful. Give me those 25 extra gems. You know, it just feels good. Because for a good while, there's not really been any in-game ways to get a big quantity of gems, which 25 is a considerable amount. It's just, you know, when you're a lower level player, you can do things like complete, what are they called? You can complete achievements, which give you lots of gems from all of these, but obviously for longer time players, they've already done most of these, if not all of them. So, yeah, we were lacking on the bonus gems. We've also got daily quests, obviously, but a lot of these sort of hold you back in terms of your day-to-day stuff, like breed the dragon of the week 5 times. But I've already got all the dragons of the week, so that one I kind of end up leaving out. Breed a sunflower dragon, that's just a pain. Breed a geyser dragon. It's like I've already done all of this. Can't you just give them to me? I've obviously already done them before. It's just they all came in after we'd already done them. Oh well. I guess that's just like a first world problem complaint from me today. But anyway, apart from that, I'll quickly note that there is a Walmart out, but it is pretty garbage. So, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that. Apart from that, you know, we got our new dragon. I am going to be trying to breed more of these Cleric Dragons. Because, you know, we want to finish off that new dragonmaster pass as quickly as possible. So, what I'm going to be doing, probably, we're trying to get Apollo as quickly as possible, is, you know, be breeding in both of these breeding dens for a cleric, and at the same time keeping 2 hatchery slots open and just hatching fire dragon eggs in at least 2 of them. Probably while, like, you know, we take one of the eggs out of the breeding den and throw it in there. So that's pretty much what I did before. You can also have it just all 3 of them open, which is the most optimal thing to do. You know, have 3 fire dragon eggs going, you know, come back every 30 seconds, hatch each of them one by one. It's a little bit draining, but it's worth it if you wanted to mine super quick. That's the general strat anyway. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not. You don't have to do it, but it will get you an Apollo very quickly. But anyway, for now, I appreciate you being here. Best of luck with all of your breeding, and be prepared for next week.